What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Q.
And it's your girl Shawdd.
Welcome to our first video and the first ever podcast on our channel.
So after this, please like, subscribe, share with all your friends and family. Spread the word.
Indeed. Today we're reacting to the protest and march for Breonna Taylor Case.
Oh, and one more piece of formal thing. Might be some background noise, so just don't mind that. We're still trying to figure out what's going on.
In this case, playing with fireworks.
So, without further ado,
here we go.
Breaking now at 11, outrage spilling into the streets. Fires set, 2 police officers shot as protesters in Louisville and around the country unleash their anger. Thank you so much for joining us, 11. Good evening, I'm Stephen Holtz.
And I'm Natalie Pasquarella. Kentucky's largest city is under curfew at this hour as mostly peaceful demonstrations continue here in New York and elsewhere around the nation. Emotions are still running high in the aftermath of the indictment that saw no officers directly charged in Breonna Taylor's death. The former detective charged with firing shots into a neighboring apartment has already been booked and released. But tonight, thousands of people still taking to the streets to protest what they call a miscarriage of justice in this case.
Our team reporter standing by here in the city, but we're going to start tonight with our team coverage at NBC's Jay Gray, live in Louisville, Kentucky tonight, where police just confirmed 2 police officers have been shot there, Jay.
Yeah, Stephen, Natalie, and you can see the National Guard police stationed outside the University of Louisville Hospital right now. The officers inside expected to recover their injuries, not considered life-threatening, and we just learned they've arrested a suspect in the shooting. Anger spilling into the streets of Louisville.
I don't have words, it's just crazy.
At times turning violent, 2 Louisville police officers hit by gunfire as protesters clashed with police and the National Guard.
As they were coming to investigate what was going on at First and Broadway, shots rang out and 2 of our officers were shot.
After a grand jury's decision that no Louisville police officer will be directly charged in the death of Breonna Taylor.
And every single person who fears police and being murdered by police deserve much better than what we got today.
It's been more than 6 months since police
Then they asked for equal rights was wrong.
drugs. Her boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, thinking it was a break-in, shot at officers, fired back, killing Taylor. The state's investigation focused on Brett Hankinson, Miles Cosgrove, and Jonathan Mattingly, the 3 officers who opened fire during the raid. Only Hankinson, who was fired from the department, was indicted on 3 counts of wanton endangerment for firing into a neighboring apartment.
And our investigation found that Mattingly and Cosgrove were justified in their use of force after having been fired upon by Kenneth Walker.
The Taylor family attorney calls the decision outrageous.
We still have work to do. We still are pushing for justice for Breonna. We still have the FBI investigation.
While this community promises to continue saying her name. Yeah, and look, there's a citywide curfew in place right now, but still pockets of protest across the area. Officials say that curfew will continue along with this show of force and a lockdown of the central core of the downtown area for as long as necessary.
All right, Jay, thank you so much for that. Here closer to home, one of the largest protests in the nation happening in New York City. You can hear it there, you can see it. That's where demonstrators have flooded the streets. News Corps' Adam Harding continuing our team coverage tonight. Adam, I understand you're marching near the Manhattan Bridge right now?
Yeah, we've been all over the city tonight. Just look at yourselves, Natalie. There are thousands of people right here blocking some of the traffic here as they've been marching now for several hours, and they stretch as far as we can see. Crowds estimated to be in the thousands right now here in Lower Manhattan. We know that this group certainly outraged by what we saw in Kentucky, that no officers will be charged in the shooting death of Breonna Taylor. One officer facing charges for shooting into the neighbor's apartment. That has spurred a lot of outrage. That's a lot of heartache, a lot of pain all across the city. Parts of this group actually started a couple hours ago marching on 59th and 9th right by the Plaza Hotel.
If it's the justice system, it's crazy.
Today we have to be part of these demonstrations.
Again, nobody
It's not
understands why.
Now they gotta
surprising.
raise their kids in this.
I wasn't surprised. I would have been surprised if justice was served. We can march and we can sing and we can shout and we can pray, but unless those changes don't happen where they need to happen, and unless the climate of this country does not change and it's not going anywhere, you're just going to see more Breonna Taylors, unfortunately.
And Natalie and Shepard, we're making our way toward the Williamsburg Bridge right now. It would appear that this group of protesters, again in 1,000, are likely now headed toward Brooklyn, where there was another demonstration earlier tonight. It's believed that those demonstrators from Brooklyn came into Lower Manhattan. The group then converged in Lower Manhattan, and now it appears that they'll be making their way back to Brooklyn. I do want to tell you, Natalie, that we've seen a number of NYPD officers tailing this group. We were part of that tail for several hours. So far, things have remained calm and peaceful. And as demonstrators will tell you tonight, it's not about the size of the crowd, it's about their message and their passion. And tonight, Natalie and Stephen, no sign that they're slowing down anytime soon. Back to you.
A lot of passionate voices on the streets of New York and in cities all across the country out partying there on Delancey Street following this group heading towards the Williamsburg Bridge. I want to take live pictures from Chopper 4, not far from, actually, this is over the same area. This is now over the bridge as we're watching some of those demonstrators
There's a
make
lot
their
of
way
people in New
across
York,
the
man.
Williamsburg Bridge into Brooklyn. Earlier that group
Oh, yeah, that's
tried to
for
cross the
justice.
Manhattan Bridge. I'm not sure if they were
You
turned
go
around
right.
or they actually started looking out towards the Willie B. We're going to follow this crew as well as just want to check back for on the ground in Lower Manhattan. Tell us what you're seeing there tonight, Jackie.
Well, Stephen, as Adam mentioned, these protesters have been zigzagging across Lower Manhattan. The group that we were following actually started in Brooklyn. They made their way back down here on Canal and Ballard. We thought they were heading back over the Manhattan Bridge back into Brooklyn, but then they took turn north up the Bowery again. Now, take a look at the video earlier where this all started at the Barclays Center, as we mentioned, in Brooklyn around 7 this evening. It started, as we mentioned, in the Bowery. It started at the Barclays Center. About 1,000 people gathered there to remember Breonna Taylor and denounce what they call a failed system that has allowed the officers who killed her to go unpunished. Then they marched over the Manhattan Bridge. Again, a mainly peaceful demonstration, but things became tense when bicycle protesters blocked the Brooklyn-bound entrance to the bridge. Take a listen. That was some of the police activity as they tried to intervene between protesters and some motorists. One driver nearly coming to blows with those protesters. He demanded to get out of his way. Another driver yelling that her kids had to go to school in the morning. The protesters told us earlier that they want people to take notice. They want people to be inconvenienced over what they call the injustice that's been done to Breonna Taylor. Take a listen to some of the people that we talked to earlier.
But now you're looking around and you're seeing that people are starting to take notice. That it's us as black people, black men and women and children who are suffering in this country.
We have to keep doing this until we get what we want. That's the whole point. We're people and the government works for us. Like, we should be cohesive and working together, and we're gonna exercise our rights to make that heard and vocalize that right.
And again, those people are among the group of about 1,000 that started at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. They came into Manhattan. They've been in Lower Manhattan throughout the evening since 7 p.m. tonight. It's unclear exactly where they're going to go, but as Adam mentioned, his group was still marching, and the group that we were following are still marching at this hour, and we're waiting to see if they'll make their way back here toward the Manhattan Bridge and head back over into Brooklyn tonight. But as we've seen, people want their voices heard, and they're apparently willing to continue marching into the late hours of tonight. To make that so. We're live in Lower Manhattan, checking back for News 4 People.
Okay, and we will be following those marchers all night tonight. Jackie, thank you very much. Our coverage of Breonna Taylor's death and today's indictment and the nation's response to that indictment continues right now on our website, NBCNewYork.com, also on the NBC4 New York app.
Wow. This is a failed system. As we pointed out earlier.
To be honest, this whole justice is really messed up for what they're doing to her, just because she's black.
Something like that.
It doesn't matter. It should be equal rights for everybody.
It should be, but some people don't agree.
Well, why don't they agree?
Stuck in their old times, maybe. Yeah, some been stuck in their old times, right? How they grew up was different.
Right.
But this is a new era.
Yes.
And like all we ask for is everybody to be one, have equal rights. Just everybody, if you done something wrong, you should get charged for it. You should get sentenced for it. If you commit murder, same thing. Go for cops as well, man. I don't give a, I could give a crap if you got a badge or not. If you commit a crime, you committed a murder, you should get time for it.
But what if they don't get time for it? What if they just let them walk free?
And that tells you, it's a fair system. The justice system is some bull. It's kind of crazy we gotta raise our kids in this. Tell our kids to do right or wrong. They get brushed by a cop, you gotta tell them, let's keep your hands on the dashboard, keep your hands out your pockets, to make them think you got nothing on. And if you didn't do nothing wrong, you shouldn't have to give them the license or ID or nothing. If you didn't do nothing wrong,
then you ain't do anything wrong. He was probably just taking a stroll, going for a walk, and then next thing you know, boom, something bad happens.
Alright, so for instance, with Lamar Arbery, with Travis, and Duke, and Michael,
Yes.
the father and son,
Yes.
what's up with that? Right. Nobody really has heard nothing about what's going on with them.
Yeah, it's been a while since I heard anything that went on about him. And it's like people just stopped talking about him and they're more focused on other things.
Like, do you ever see the problem? Like, you have two Caucasian males, and they pick up just, go down a block, harassing Ahmad, and just fatally shot for what? Because y'all thought he was breaking people's houses, taking things.
It's funny how they think that people do something just because the look of their face or what they wear makes them feel like, oh, well, I'm gonna look at him as like a hood boy, or he's doing this or he's doing that, when it could be the complete opposite.
It could be. A lot of black men, women out here just trying to go to work, feed their families, and just come home. Because lately, like we scared. Some people we are scared to even step out the house sometimes.
I do remember this one time. I had a college friend, and she's living in an apartment now. She has her own apartment and all of that. One day when she was trying to go to the store, I heard her post something on Instagram. It was like a whole video. She was saying, oh, well, I'm afraid to go outside because she's seen cops. She's seen them put this, it was a black man. She's seen him put him down and, with handcuffs, and his face was bloody. And she was like, no, I don't feel safe.
Why? Yeah.
I don't feel safe because she feels like it might be her.
Well, to the cops, what do y'all think we want to do with your handcuffs? We can't do nothing.
Y'all got us locked in here. How do you expect us to get out of that?
Once we locked up, we can't do nothing. We can't swing like you can do now. All we do is sit and do like this. What can we do?
Especially if you're not even doing anything wrong. It's like you handcuff me for no reason.
What could George Floyd do? He was in handcuffs. What could he do?
Now, with that being said, we are out of time.
We are. And I wish we did have more time to talk, but
it is a really tough subject to get on.
Oh.
Because I feel like people should hear some things like this.
Our voice needs to be heard. We're sending a message. All we ask for equal rights and justice. Everybody should be getting the same treatment. If you commit a murder, you got good time.
Now, if y'all feel the same way, leave a comment, leave a like, share the video.
Y'all welcome to write y'all opinion.
We'll be open to hear it. We'll comment back.
Most definitely. Until then, also, there is a virus still going on. Please wear your mask, man. Oh, please.
Please wear your mask. Some people do not take that seriously, and I think y'all should start taking stuff like this seriously.
So just because y'all don't hear about like that doesn't mean
it's not around.
Stop wearing your mask.
Right.
Wear your mask.
And also be safe. Stay home if you have to. Stay with your families because they need you to.
More than that, peace and love to everybody out there.
One love, y'all.
One love, one heart.
Oh yeah, don't forget to follow our daughter on her Instagram page. We're going to post that in the description below. And also,
Like, subscribe, share with your family.
and also one more shout out. Shout out to Miss Nikki from the G. I see you, home. Thank you for hooking us up.
The fur family.
You the best.
Thank
You the best. Oh, also the link will be in the description.
Down below.
And
until then, do one.